It's 11:30 p.m. on a Tuesday. The TV is on, but neither of you is watching it. You're sitting on opposite ends of the couch, that familiar, heavy silence filling the space between you like smoke. You look at them, really look at them, and for a split second you feel a pang of panic. Not because they're angry, but because they are there, physically present, yet emotionally they are miles away. They scroll through their phone. You stare at the ceiling. And in that quiet, a terrifying thought whispers in your ear. Why does this keep happening? Am I too much? Or am I not enough? Do they even want me here, or am I just convenient? Is this what love is supposed to feel like? This lonely? You feel crazy for asking. You feel guilty for wanting more. But here is the hard truth that no one tells you. The distance isn't happening because you're needy. It's happening because you've become safe enough to use, but not safe enough to know. You are not failing at love. You are not broken. And you certainly didn't imagine the connection you felt in the beginning. That connection was real. But what you are experiencing now is a specific psychological dynamic where intimacy is consumed, not shared. By the end of this video, you will know exactly how to tell the difference between a partner who is struggling to connect and a partner who is using your energy to regulate their own discomfort. You will stop guessing. You will start seeing. Let's get into it. Most couples believe that if their partner pulls away, it's a sign that the love is fading. They think, if they really loved me, they would want to be close all the time. So they try harder. They text more. They plan more dates. They ask, "What's wrong?" over and over again. But the real truth is much deeper, and honestly, it's harder to hear. When an avoidant partner pulls away, it's rarely about a lack of love. It's about a surplus of overwhelm. Your partner's nervous system is reading your need for closeness as a demand on their autonomy. To them, intimacy doesn't feel like safety. It feels like engulfment. So when they withdraw, they aren't trying to hurt you. They are trying to breathe. Here is the paradigm shift. Avoidance is not the absence of care. It is the presence of fear. When safety leaves a relationship, the love doesn't disappear. It goes underground. It hides behind walls of indifference, busy schedules, and "I just need space." What looks like stonewalling is usually someone who has been so overwhelmed by emotional expectation that silence is the only protection they have left. But there is a dark side to this. Because while some avoidants withdraw to protect the relationship, others withdraw to use the relationship. There is a critical difference between a partner who is scared of intimacy and a partner who is comfortable with your intimacy but unwilling to offer their own. One is a wound. The other is a pattern of exploitation. And knowing which one you are dealing with changes everything. You are their anchor, not their partner. Most people in relationships expect reciprocity. You support them when they're down, they support you when you're up. It's a ping-pong match of care. But in this dynamic, the ball only moves in one direction. You notice that they only reach out with depth, vulnerability, or intense affection when they are in crisis. When their job is stressful, when their family is difficult, or when they feel insecure, that's when you are the most important person in their world. But the moment their storm passes, the warmth evaporates. Here's the part no one talks about. For an avoidant who is using you, You are not a person to be known. You are a resource to be regulated. Their nervous system uses your stability to calm their anxiety. Once they are calm, they no longer need the regulator. They don't see your withdrawal as a loss. They see it as a return to baseline. They are outsourcing their emotional labor to you because they haven't developed the internal capacity to self-soothe. Let's look at how this sounds. In the disconnecting version, they call you at 2 a.m. crying about a work failure. You stay on the phone for 3 hours, soothing them. The next day, you have a minor bad day. You text them, "Hey, having a rough one." They reply 6 hours later with, "Sorry, busy. Hope it gets better." No follow-up, no check-in, just radio silence until their next crisis. In the connecting version, they call you stressed. You listen. The next day, they text, "Thanks for last night. I know I was heavy. How are you holding up today? Can I bring you dinner?" And when you stop being just the emergency contact, you stop feeling like a utility and start feeling like a priority. That's the shift that turns a relationship that feels like a negotiation into one that feels like a refuge. They want your body, but not your biography. Most couples build intimacy through shared experiences, meeting friends, talking about childhood fears, planning a future. But most people in this trap notice a bizarre split. The physical chemistry is electric. The sex is intense, maybe even spiritually connecting in the moment. But try to introduce them to your best friend. Try to talk about where this is going in 6 months. Try to share a vulnerable memory from your past. Suddenly, the vibe shifts. The jokes stop. The eye contact breaks. They change the subject. This is where it gets really interesting. Physical intimacy allows an avoidant to feel close without being known. Sex is a way to merge bodies while keeping the soul guarded. If they know your deepest fears, your dreams, and your history, they feel accountable to you. They feel tied to you. By keeping the intimacy physical, but the emotional life superficial, they get the dopamine hit of connection without the terror of obligation. They are consuming the feeling of love without paying the price of commitment. In the disconnecting version, you're lying in bed after sex, feeling open. You say, "I really love how safe I feel with you." They stiffen slightly, pull away, and say, "Yeah, that was great. Hey, did you see that game last night?" The wall goes up instantly. In the connecting version, you share that same sentiment. They pause. They might not say, "I love you" back yet, but they stay present. They say, "That means a lot to hear. I feel really connected to you right now." They let the moment land. That's when your partner stops feeling like a secret you're keeping and starts feeling like a person you're building a life with. And when you do that, the walls between you start to come down without either of you having to say a word. They feed you just enough to keep you starving. Most people in healthy relationships have a consistent baseline of affection. Sure, there are ups and downs, but the floor is solid. In this dynamic, the floor is missing. You spend weeks feeling ignored, dismissed, or coldly treated. You start to pull away, thinking, "Okay, I'm done. I can't do this anymore." And the second you detach, the second you stop chasing, they come back. Not with a grand apology, but with a crumb, a sweet text, a sudden invite, a moment of intense charm. Just enough to reset your hope. Just enough to make you think, see, they do care. I just needed to give them space. This isn't accidental. This is intermittent reinforcement, and it is the most addictive psychological pattern in existence. Your brain is quietly registering, if I just wait long enough, the reward comes. An avoidant who is using you senses your detachment as a threat to their supply of attention. They don't come back because they miss you. They come back because they miss the control. They are topping off your tank just enough to keep you driving, but never enough to let you arrive. In the disconnecting version, you ignore them for 3 days. They send a meme. You reply casually. They immediately send, "Miss you, we should hang out this weekend." You agree, excited. Then they cancel last minute with a vague excuse. The cycle restarts. In the connecting version, you pull back. They notice. They reach out with genuine curiosity. "I've felt some distance lately. I miss you. Is everything okay? I'd love to talk when you're ready." And then they respect your pace. That's the shift that turns a relationship that feels like a casino into one that feels like a home. You stop gambling with your heart and start investing in your peace. Your boundaries are treated as inconveniences. Most couples negotiate needs. "I need more time alone," or "I need more reassurance." It's a dialogue. But most people in this dynamic find that their needs are consistently framed as drama, neediness, or too much pressure. When you express a legitimate emotional need, like wanting consistency or clarity, they don't just fail to meet it, they punish you for having it. They sigh, they roll their eyes, they say, "You're always so sensitive," or "Can't we just have fun without analyzing everything?" Here's what nobody explains. To an avoidant who is using you, your needs are a mirror reflecting their inadequacy. If they acknowledge your need for consistency, they have to admit they aren't providing it. That creates shame, and avoidants hate shame. So instead of stepping up, they attack the messenger. They invalidate your reality to protect their ego. They are not incapable of meeting your needs. They are unwilling to face the discomfort of trying. In the disconnecting version, you say, "It hurts when you cancel plans last minute." They respond, "Wow, here we go again. You're making a huge deal out of nothing. I'm busy, okay? Stop being so controlling." You end up apologizing for having feelings. In the connecting version, you say, "It hurts when you cancel plans last minute." They respond, "I hear that. I didn't realize how much that impacted you. I'm sorry. Let's look at my calendar and lock something in that works for both of us." And when your needs are met with curiosity, instead of contempt, you stop feeling like a problem to manage and start feeling like a person to come home to. This isn't a checklist to diagnose your partner. It's an invitation to diagnose your own worth. Because here is the thing. You can't love someone into becoming emotionally available. You can't explain your pain clearly enough to make them care if they have decided that caring is too costly. When you internalize these signs, you stop reacting to their breadcrumbs and start responding to your own hunger. You stop asking, "Why are they doing this?" and start asking, "Why am I staying for this?" That shift, That is the beginning of becoming the kind of partner you always wanted someone to be for you. Real intimacy doesn't start when you find the right person. It starts when you decide to become one. And sometimes, becoming that person means walking away from the people who only want the version of you that asks for nothing. If this video resonated with you, if you felt seen in those moments, please hit that like button. It helps this message reach others who are sitting in that silent living room right now. And if you're ready to stop guessing and start healing, subscribe and turn on notifications. We're building a community here that values real connection over convenient distraction. You are worthy of a love that shows up, not just when it's easy, but especially when it's hard. I'll see you in the next one.